400 feet beneath the Sea of Okhotsk, in freezing black water inside Soviet territory, an American diver reaches out and wraps his hands around a cable carrying the Soviet Union's most guarded secrets. It is the most audacious wiretap ever attempted, and one desperate man is about to give it away for the price of a used car. The early 1970s. The Cold War is a war of listening, and in the Pacific, the United States is deaf. The Soviet Pacific Fleet, its submarines, its missile tests, its nuclear plans, operates behind a wall of silence. American intelligence is desperate for a way inside. Any way at all. Then analysts notice something. Deep in the Sea of Okhotsk, an inland sea ringed by Soviet soil, guarded like a fortress, there is a communications cable running along the seabed. It links the Pacific Fleet submarine base on the Kamchatka Peninsula to its mainland headquarters. And because the Soviets believe that sea is untouchable, the messages on that cable are barely protected at all. The idea that follows is close to insane. Sail a submarine, undetected, into a sealed Soviet sea, find a single cable on a pitch-black seabed, and tap it, without the Soviets ever knowing anyone was there. If it works, America hears everything. If it fails, it is an act of war. The weapon for the job is the USS Halibut, an aging submarine secretly rebuilt for one purpose. Hidden inside her is a chamber where divers can live under crushing pressure, then step out into the deep. In October 1971, she slips into the Sea of Okhotsk and goes hunting for a cable on the ocean floor. They are looking for something the width of a hand, somewhere across miles of darkness. But the Soviets themselves left the answer. On the shoreline, the divers spot a sign, a warning to fishing boats. Do not anchor here, cable below. Follow it into the water, and there it is, 400 feet down, exactly where they were told not to look. Now the masterstroke. They do not cut the cable, they do not pierce it. Instead, they clamp a 6-meter device around it that reads the signals through the insulation, by induction, without breaking the line at all. If the Soviets ever inspected it, they would find nothing wrong. The tap is, quite literally, invisible, and it works beyond anyone's dreams. Because the Soviet officers are certain no one can hear them, they speak freely, openly, carelessly, about submarines, weapons, and strategy. Every few months, the Halibut creeps back to swap out the recorder, each trip a fresh gamble with war. Later, a new device is built that can store a full year of the Soviet Navy's secrets. For nearly a decade, it is one of the greatest intelligence operations in history. And then it meets its weakness. Not a Soviet engineer, but an American in debt. His name is Ronald Pelton, a talented NSA analyst who speaks fluent Russian and who has quietly gone bankrupt. He has a few $100s to his name and a mind full of the country's deepest secrets. In January 1980, Pelton walks into the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. No cloak, no dagger. He simply offers to sell what he knows. And among the secrets he hands the KGB is Ivy bells. For the location of the most brilliant wiretap ever built, the Soviets pay him $5,000. The perfect operation betrayed for the price of a used car. 1981. A submarine returns to the Sea of Okhotsk for another routine swap of the recorder. The divers descend to the cable, and the device is gone. Back on the surface, American satellites reveal the truth. Soviet salvage ships anchored directly over the tap site. Not searching, not sweeping, sitting exactly on the spot. They had known precisely where to look. For a while, it makes no sense. The tap was undetectable. No Soviet vessel had ever stumbled onto it. So how could they have gone straight to it, in thousands of square miles of dark ocean? The answer was never in the water. The answer was a man who had walked through a door in Washington. It takes years to prove. Only in 1985, tipped off by a Soviet defector, do investigators close in on Pelton. In the end, it is his own voice, captured on a surveillance recording, that convicts him. He is sentenced to life in prison for selling secrets he was paid a few $1,000s to betray. And the device itself? The Soviets hauled it up from the seabed intact. Today, that captured American tap sits in a museum in Moscow. A trophy, the most ingenious wiretap ever engineered, defeated not by better technology, but by one bankrupt man and an envelope of cash. The United States never truly stopped. The mission passed to other submarines and quieter programs that still run today. But Ivy Bells left a lesson that outlived the Cold War. You can build a device the enemy can never detect. You can hide it in the deepest, darkest water on Earth. And none of it matters if the person who knows the secret decides to sell it. The hardest thing to secure was never the cable. It was the people. If a secret this deep could surface, so can the next one. And it breaks here first. Subscribe,